Tonight on Paige's Kitchen, we're making something that's fun and it's for your best friend. It's a dog treat, and we're only using 2 ingredients. We'll be using plain yogurt and pumpkin. And when you buy your pumpkin, make sure it says 100% pure pumpkin. Don't get the pumpkin pie filling because you don't want all the other extras that are in there. So it's just 2 ingredients. We'll be mixing those up, and then we'll be putting them in ice cube trays. Now, whatever size ice cube tray that you have should be for the size of your dog. I made some yesterday, I'll show you in just a minute, that are very small. So if you have a little dog, you would want little treats, but if you have something maybe like a German Shepherd or one of the larger breeds, then you would want the bigger ice cubes. Now, I'll tell you, these are a little messy when they eat them, so it's a good idea when you if you've ever given your dog the Frosty Paws, is a favorite one. My dog used to love those. Take it outside. So give them the treat when they're outdoors, unless you want this all over your floors. So we're just mixing these 2 things together, and the pumpkin smells really good. And then just put the yogurt in there, and we'll just be whisking these 2 things together. I have to tell you that our cameraman today, Calvin, was very excited for a moment. He saw the pumpkin and thought we were having pumpkin pie, so had to break his heart and say, no, we're making a treat for your dog. So, but he has a German Shepherd, so once these are frozen, you'll be able to take these to your dog. So this is another fun thing to make with kids. You know, once it starts getting hot outside, dogs really like frozen treats, and this is one that's good for them. And the key to putting it in the ice cube trays, I have found, is using it in a Ziploc bag. Makes it not quite as messy, and you could use a spoon if you want to, that's fine, and just, you know, have a spoon, put it in there, but I like using the Ziploc bag because it's a little bit easier. So if I could have my trusty assistant over here, my husband Jack, if you'll hold this bag for me so I can put this in there. And then you're just going to clip the end off, and this smells really good. It really does kind of smell like we're making pumpkin pie. And feel free to taste this, because this is obviously all food that we eat. And I'll let these freeze overnight. It does take a while for them to freeze, so if you're thinking that you can make them and serve them in just a couple hours, that might be difficult, depending on, I guess, how your freezer works. But I found that it does better if you make it overnight. Thank you. And then you're just going to clip the end of the bag, and then you can just squeeze it in there. This was especially a lot easier to do it this way for the other ones that I made for the small dogs, because the tray is so little. Just clip the end off, and you're just going to use this, you're just going to pipe this in there, basically like you were making. Fill them up. This made 1 small tray. And then once you get these filled up, you can tap it on the counter a couple times to make sure that they're flat. And just keep going. I like making treats for your pets. And it's funny, when I used to make treats for my dog, you know, they have such a keen sense of smell, they'll recognize that, and then they'll be standing there waiting for you to get done. So, and this doesn't make quite as much for this larger one. So let me show you, just tap it a couple times so it can go flat, and now let me show you the ones that I made yesterday. Okay, here's the ones that I made yesterday. As you can see, they firm up really nicely, and then you can just pop them out. I don't want to take these out because actually, David, these are going to be for Lucy and Bree, your 2 dogs. So I'm going to bring these to work, and your dogs will now have some homemade dog treats. You can do this. All right, David, you know you have to do it for Lucy and Bree.